Hello and welcome to Enjoy the Dance, a Hatha Yoga Backbend Flow. My name is Adriana Lee with Solstice Yoga, and today I'll be guiding you through a backbending series that will take us into different variations of dancer's pose. For today's practice, you may want a few props. You'll need a strap. You can also do this without a strap, or to substitute, you can use a tie, a scarf, or a belt. You may want blocks, but there's no poses that you absolutely must have them for, so just grab them if you have them on hand. And then you'll also want a blanket roll for just one pose. So you do need the blanket though to pad your knees for several poses. So go ahead and grab a blanket, and then to make the blanket roll, you'll need to start with about this size of blanket. So in order to make that, I folded this in half once, which is already in half a second time, and then I took that half, folded it into thirds, and then from there, you'll roll it like a little burrito. And then it should look roughly like this. If you have a Forest Yoga mat roll, more than welcome to use that as well. So once you've got your props together, put on some music and we'll get started right away. We'll begin today's practice lying down on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana with Shivananda breath. So if you've got some blocks, place those underneath your knees. You'll lie down on your back. Place the soles of your feet together, let your knees open out to the sides, and set the blocks underneath your knees at whatever height feels good. If your hips are quite tight, you may need to slide the blocks higher up towards your thighs. If they're not so tight, you may be able to just support right at the knees. Allow your hands to rest on your belly and start to connect with your breath. As you breathe, let your shoulders melt down towards the earth. And feel your belly expand underneath your hands and fall as you exhale. Our intent for today's practice is to enjoy the dance, to look for the beauty instead of the struggle in each and every experience. And this in and of itself can be challenging, because the brain is hardwired for survival, which means it's always seeking out the things that could go wrong, the things that could potentially become dangerous. So it's much easier for your brain, naturally, to see the struggle, to see the negative. In order to begin seeing the beauty, the positive, the things that could go right, it takes time to practice seeing those things over and over and over again so that you strengthen those neural pathways that see the good, that see the beauty. Take a moment now to connect and see the beauty in this very moment. Shivananda breath. Shivananda breath is just basically an easy breath. You'll take an easy breath in, hold, maintaining a comfortable hold, and then slowly breathe out. Hold, finding just a comfortable, easy hold, and then repeat. So inhale without any force, just keep it easy, keep it natural, basically allowing your body to guide the breath rather than guiding the breath yourself. Pause for a beat, and then exhale, letting the breath go, again, without forcing, without trying, just allowing it to flow. Pause for a beat. And when your body naturally wants to inhale again, allow your body to guide you. Inhale. Pause for a beat, just feeling the breath swirl within you. And exhale, easy breath out. Pause. And when your body naturally prompts you to breathe in again, breathe in. Continue breathing with this easy Shivananda breath a few more rounds. Notice if you right away want to force the breath or deepen the breath or change the breath in any way. And resist that urge, choosing to come back to what your body naturally wants to do. To come out of the pose, place your hands outside of your knees and use your hands to guide your knees back in towards each other, allowing the knees to fall in against each other. Pause here for just a moment, feeling for your sacrum melting into the earth below you. Move your blocks out of your way and stay lying down on your back for abdominals. We'll begin with twisted root abs. Cross your left knee on top of your right and lift your right foot up off the ground. Pancake your hands on top of your left thigh. Take a full expansive breath into your low back. Pause your breath, press your low back down into the earth, squeeze your thighs together. Now exhale, push your hands and your thighs into each other. Find some resistance and pull your low belly down. Inhale, relax that, come back into a neutral spine, so a little bit of space beneath the low back. Pause your breath, squish that space down into the ground, get flat, squeeze the thighs together, exhale, push hands and thighs into each other, find some little shakes, but at the same time, relax your jaw and pull low belly down. Inhale, relax, back to neutral. Pause, press your low back down, hug your thighs together, exhale, push hands and thighs together, soften through your shoulders and pull low belly down. Inhale, relax that, and find your way into a twist. So you can either keep the legs crossed and release both knees all the way over to the right, or if that feels like too much or uncomfortable, just stack your knees directly on top of each other. Left arm can either reach overhead with your palm facing down, or if while maintaining your hips stacked, and by that I mean your sacrum and low back are perpendicular to the ground, if maintaining that you're able to twist and let your shoulder blade rest on the ground, then go ahead and open your arm out to the side, but otherwise keep the shoulder protected with arm overhead. Deep inhale into the left side ribs. Exhale, allow your left shoulder to get even heavier. If you'd like to add a little bit of traction, use your right hand at the top crest of your left hip bone and draw the hip bone down, feeling for just a little bit more space created in the low back. Take one more deep breath. And release. Take both knees back through center. Uncross your legs and switch the crossing of your legs for twisted root on the other side. Twisted root abdominals on the other side. Right leg over left. Lift up your left foot and pancake your hands on top of each other on the right thigh. Inhale into your belly. Pause your breath. Root your low back down into the ground. Squeeze thighs together. Exhale, press. Hands and thighs push into each other and pull low belly down with a relaxed neck. Inhale, soften to neutral, a little space beneath the low back. Pause your breath, press your low back into the earth, hug your thighs together, exhale, push hands and thighs into each other and pull low belly down. Find those little shakes. Inhale, relax to neutral. Pause, squish your low back into the mat, hug your thighs together, exhale, push hands and thighs into each other. Find those shakes, pull low belly down and relax your jaw. Inhale, relax to neutral. Last one. Hold your breath, push your low back into the mat, squeeze thighs together, exhale, press hands and thighs into each other and pull belly down. Inhale, release out of that and release both knees over to the left. And once again, if this feels too intense to keep the legs crossed, you can stack knees, ankles, and hips right on top of each other rather than working into that cross. And whichever variation you choose, once again, sacrum and low back are perpendicular to the ground. Reach your right arm overhead. Or if you twist so much that while maintaining the hips stacked, you're able to ground the right shoulder blade, then go for it. Big expansive breath into the right side ribs. Exhale, let your right shoulder melt towards the earth. Inhale into back ribs, front ribs, and side ribs equally. Exhale, maybe soften a layer deeper into your twist, and if you'd like, add on that little bit of traction using the left hand to hug the right hip bone down away from your ribs. And we'll stay here for one more full breath. And gently release out of that, unwind, set your feet down on the mat for a moment. And watch this quick demo for elbow to knee with butterfly crunch. So if you're familiar with elbow to knee, you're basically just adding on a butterfly crunch, which will look like heels together and just crunching straight up through center. But to show you the whole thing, inhale, head and shoulders up, pause breath, press low back down, exhale, twist elbows to the right, extend right leg forward, pull belly down, inhale, center, pause breath, low back down, exhale, elbows right, left leg forward, pull belly down. Inhale, center, heels together, knees to the sides. Pause breath, press low back down. Exhale, hug, elbows and knees towards each other. Inhale, relax and unbutterfly the knees. All right, so now we're ready. Let's do a couple rounds of those. Begin by clasping your hands together behind your head. Lift your elbows up towards the ceiling, creating a basket for your head. Lift your knees right over your hips and let your feet dangle a bit. Inhale, curl your head and shoulders up off the mat. Pause your breath, press your low back down into the ground. Exhale, twist elbows towards your left knee, extend your right leg forward, reaching through the ball of the foot, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees, lift elbows to center. Pause your breath, press your low back into the mat. Exhale, twist elbows to the right, reach your left leg forward, press into the ball of the left foot and pull low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees. Bring your heels together, knees wide. Pause your breath, press low back down. Exhale, lift elbows and knees towards each other. Soften head into hands, pull low belly down. Inhale, unbutterfly the knees. Pause your breath, press low back down. Exhale, twist elbows to the left. Extend right leg forward, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees, lift elbows high. Pause breath, squish low back down. Exhale, twist elbows to the right, reach your left leg forward, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees, start to bring the heels together, knees out to the sides. Pause your breath, squish the top rim of the sacrum down into the ground. Exhale, chest and shoulders lift even higher, draw your knees in towards elbows. Inhale, knees back to center, unbutterfly the knees. Pause your breath, press low back down. Exhale, twist elbows to the left, extend right leg forward, squeeze right sit bone to tailbone, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees, lift up through center. Hold your breath, press low back down. Exhale, lift elbows towards the right, reach your left leg forward, hug sit bone to tailbone, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend both knees, bring the heels together and knees out to the sides. Hold your breath, press the top rim of the sacrum down into the ground. Exhale, lift elbows and knees towards each other without engaging your neck. Pull low belly down. Inhale, unbutterfly the knees. Set your head down, set your feet down, and prepare for bridge pose. Ground your feet down directly underneath your knees. Relax your arms by your sides with the palms facing up. Take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, press into your heels and roll your spine up, one section of spine at a time. Low back, mid back, then upper back lifts. Once you're at the top in your bridge, feel into all four corners of your feet. So feel for the heels, big toe mound, even the pinky toe mound, and feel for grounding down through, I guess it's really three corners, but whatever you want to call it. Press down into your feet. Take a deep, expansive breath into your belly. And exhale, lengthen your tailbone forward towards your knees, creating even more space in the low back. Now imagine you're squeezing a ball or a blanket between your thighs and hug your inner ankles towards each other so the whole inner leg line turns on. Check out your neck. Inhale into your shoulders. Exhale, relax your neck, your jaw, even your shoulders. Feel for isolating the lower body and allowing your neck and your shoulders to just let go. Now tuck the tailbone under, slowly lower down, upper back. Roll down through mid back, tuck tailbone, roll down the low back. And very last part of the spine to land is your sacrum. You can take a moment here, maybe windshield wiper the knees side to side or whatever would feel good. Then roll over onto one side and we'll come up into tabletop for cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly towards the mat. Reach your heart forward, look up. Exhale, press the earth away around your spine. Draw your chin to chest. Inhale, melt your belly towards the mat, chest forward, look up. Exhale, round spine, chin to chest. One more round like this. Inhale, spread through your collarbones, squeeze your upper back, push into the tops of your feet. Exhale, round out your spine, root through your fingertips and your shins, chin to chest. Inhale, come back into a neutral tabletop, and we'll move through the 4 movements of the scapula. So beginning with protraction and retraction. To show you what that looks like without being in a tabletop position, essentially with straight arms, you can protract your shoulder blades by sliding them towards the chest, broadening the upper back like you're pushing your spine between the shoulder blades. And then to retract, you'll hug the shoulder blades towards each other. Think spine forward towards chest, chest puffs forward just a bit. Then elevation and depression we'll do next. It's up towards ears, down towards hips. All right? So from tabletop, connect through your core, hug in through your belly. The only thing that's moving is the upper back. Protract, push the spine up towards the ceiling. And retract, squeeze the shoulder blades together, chest sinks. 3 more like that. Protract, push up. Retract, squeeze. 2 more. Protract, press. Retract, squeeze. And last one. Protract, spread the shoulder blades. Retract, draw them together. Come back into neutral. Now we'll switch to elevation and depression. Elevate, shoulders towards the ears. And depress, down towards the hips. Elevate up towards the ears. And depress down towards the hips. Resist the urge to add a lot of movement through the lower body and the elbows to exaggerate. Go ahead and do 2 more. Elevate towards the hips. Towards the ears, and depress towards the hips. And last one. Elevate. And depress. All right, now we'll move through those same 4 movements, but in a circle. So you'll begin by protracting up, so spine up between the shoulder blades. Elevate up towards the ears, then retract, squeeze. Keep that squeeze and slide down into depression. That sounds really sad. Keep going. Protract, elevate up towards the ears, retract to squeeze, and depress down towards hips. 1 more. Protract, spine up, elevate up towards the ears, retract, chest sink, squeeze the shoulder blades, and depress, slide down towards your hips. All right, now circling the other direction. So beginning with depression. Every time I say it, I don't mean to be sad. All right, slide your shoulder blades down towards your hips, and then retract to squeeze. Maintain that retraction, elevate up towards your ears, and protract. Keep that protraction as you slide down towards the hips, then retract to squeeze. Elevate, slide up towards the ears, and protract. Push the earth away. Keep that protraction, slide down. Last one. Retract to squeeze. Keep that retraction, elevate up towards the ears, and finally protract. All right, from here, we'll move into dolphin prelude. So walk your knees a bit wider so that your knees are basically at the edges of the mat and feet are in line with your knees. Then lower your elbows down out in front of you. You may need to adjust sliding them forward a bit. Place the palms together, sink your chest down towards the mat, and then take your hands overhead, either up towards the ceiling or possibly behind the head. Now notice if you're sinking all the way down towards the ground, and begin to push the earth away by pushing into the tops of your feet and hugging in through your core. Take a moment here. Continue pressing through your elbows. 1 last breath. Then release your hands down and walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Take a moment here, wide-legged cat-cow, just for a moment. Then walk your knees back underneath your hips and lower your elbows down onto the mat. Now this time, it's almost like you're setting up for a forearm plank. Grab onto your biceps. That will be a good measurement of the distance apart you want your elbows. And lower your hands down. You can spread your fingers, but if your shoulders are a bit sensitive, you might choose to clasp your hands together instead for support. Up to you. All right, forearm cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly towards the mat, send the tailbone up, maybe look up just with your eyes. Then exhale, round, press the earth away, finding that protraction and also a little bit of elevation. Inhale, drop the belly, retract and depress down towards the hips, spread the collarbones. Exhale, round. And one more round. Inhale, drop your belly into cow, lift up through the sit bones. Exhale into cat, press the earth away, push into tops of feet and pull belly to spine. Inhale back into a neutral forearm, tabletop, and walk your hands under your shoulders, downward facing dog. Walk your feet back into plank and lift your hips up and back. Take a moment here, maybe bending one knee at a time. Take this as a moment to explore and to feel into what your body needs most. So maybe today you might need to bend your knees a little more in your down dog. Maybe today you might need to rotate your fingers out to the sides just a little bit if there's any discomfort in your wrists, or if there's even too much discomfort in your wrists, you might choose to take fists and lower your thumbs down onto the ground to take that variation of down dog instead. Take another breath or two here, just exploring. And slowly walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet. Inhale, hands to shins, elongate your spine, half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, relax your neck. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rise up to standing, reach your arms up. Take your hands down to your heart, Tadasana, Namaskar. Take a moment to close your eyes and feel into your body. And as you feel, look for something beautiful. By beautiful, it does not have to be something outward. You don't have to look in a mirror to figure that out. Maybe you take a moment of gratitude towards a beautiful sunrise that you saw, or a beautiful moment that you had with a pet or a loved one. And just take a moment to let that take root in your heart. Feel the gratitude for it. And strengthen the neural pathways that tell your brain to look for the beauty. Sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Forward fold, exhale, hinge from your hips. Inhale, elongate the spine, half forward fold. Exhale, ground your palms, step back to plank. Set your knees down, lower chest and belly down at the same time. Walk your hands forward for cobra. Inhale, pull your ribs forward and up. Exhale, pull your ribs forward and down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, rise up onto knees, and tuck toes, downward facing dog, hips up and back. One deep breath here. Exhale with lion's breath, breathe out and stick out your tongue. And walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, half forward fold, elongate your spine. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach your arms all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, Tadasana, Namaskar, hands down to the heart. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Forward fold, exhale, hinge from your hips. Inhale, Ardha, elongate the spine. Exhale, step back into plank, set your knees down, lower chest and belly down at the same time. Uncurl your toes, make space for your sacrum if you need, maybe by lifting one leg at a time and internally rotating. You'll know you need space if there's any crunchiness in the low back. Now this time, keep your hands underneath your chest, but lengthen your tailbone down towards your heels and push into the tops of your feet. Inhale, use your fingertips to grip the mat, pull your ribs forward and up. Maybe don't go as high this time, that's okay. Exhale, pull your ribs forward and down. We'll do that 2 more times. If you find that you really like the wider grip, go for it. Otherwise, stay put. Inhale, pull your ribs forward and up. Feel for your lats, those mid-back muscles engaging. Exhale, pull your ribs forward and down. Final round. Inhale, pull forward and up. Exhale, pull forward and down. Down dog. Hands under shoulders and press yourself up and back. One deep inhale. Exhale with lion's breath. Walk your feet forward. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, deepen down, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, rise up to standing, reach up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Inhale, bend your knees, chair pose, send your hips back, arms up. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, elongate. Exhale, step back into plank. If you'd like to take chaturanga into up dog, you may. Otherwise, repeat, knees down, lie down, cobra. If you're taking chaturanga, use your toes to shift the shoulders forward past the wrists. Lower only halfway down. Flip the feet. Inhale, lift the chest upward facing, thighs off the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands. Ground your right heel down. Rise up into warrior one legs. Warrior one with tricep stretch. Option 4, arch your arms or Gomukhasana arms. Reach your right arm up, pat yourself on the back, and use your left hand to guide your right elbow back into a tricep stretch. Hug in through the frontal ribs and find a neutral position for your hips so that your hips are basically, hip points are mostly facing forward and they're at the same height, so one hip isn't much higher than the other. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, draw your belly in, maybe bend your knee 1 more centimeter. Option for Gomukhasana arms. If you're taking that option, internally rotate your left shoulder so the palm faces back and thumb is down. Then reach your fingertips towards each other. You can choose to grab onto pieces of your clothing, or if you're able to reach fingertips, then find that bind. Inhale, telescope your ribs up, creating space between each and every rib. Exhale, soften your neck and jaw. Find something to enjoy in the pose, even if there is a moment of struggle. Release your hands down on the inside of your right foot, lizard with protraction and retraction. Extend the left leg back so that it feels like you're in a plank pose. Now we'll begin to move through protraction and retraction. So squeeze in through the right inner thigh, protract by pushing your spine up between the shoulder blades, and retract by squeezing the shoulder blades together, chest sinks a bit. Just 2 more of those. Protract, press up, retract, squeeze. Last one, protract, press up, and retract, squeeze. Inhale, come back into a neutral lizard. Find a nice long back leg, press into your toes, lift your heel high, and release your back knee down. Queen pigeon, stage 1. Walk your right foot across your mat and lower your right shin down to the ground. Find something to place underneath your right sit bone so that you have support. You could take a corner of your blanket, you could take a block, even a bolster would work. And extend your left leg straight back so that your hips feel supported and level. Place your left hand forward of your shoulder and wrap your right arm behind your back. Grab onto a piece of your clothing, maybe a piece of your pants or your shirt. Then draw your left ribs down towards the left arm and find a comfortable position for your neck, either by dropping chin to chest or softening left ear to left shoulder. Inhale into your left ribs. Exhale, ease the rib cage down towards the ground. Inhale into your right hip. Exhale, energetically reach your thighs in opposite directions so that you feel your legs engage. Feel for engaging where you want to engage and softening where you want to soften. So almost trying to compartmentalize the body, even though that's technically impossible. Release your right arm from behind your back. Place your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your left toes under and slide your right knee back to meet left, moving the blanket out of the way if it was underneath your hip. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Then slide your elbows under your shoulders for Ardha Bhekasana half frog. Cross your left arm across your body so that you have a diagonal for support. Then bend your right knee and bring your right hand to the top of your right foot. Then draw your heel down towards your glute and push your right hip bone into the ground. Stay there. If that is not working for you, you'll instead rotate over onto your side, taking the left leg a little bit forward for leverage, and then use your hand to pull your heel towards your glute, pushing your hip point forward. So whichever version works for you today. Inhale, use your left hand, if you're in Ardha Bhekasana, to pull your ribs forward. And as you exhale, lengthen your tailbone down, maybe moving the stretch a little bit more to the center of your quads. And switch sides. Release your right leg down, right elbow under your shoulder, right arm across, bend your left knee, left hand to left foot, and draw your heel down. If you took the side lying variation, just move onto your side and pull your heel to your glute. Inhale, use your right arm if you're in Ardha Bhekasana to pull your ribs forward. Exhale, lengthen your tailbone down, press down into the left hip point, or press forward if you're on your side. And release. Left leg down. Lower both hands under your shoulders, push up onto hands and knees, and then back into down dog. Tuck toes, lift hips. Left foot forward, warrior one tricep stretch. Lower the right heel down, rise up into warrior one legs. Then reach your left arm up, pat yourself on the back, and use your right hand to draw the elbow back into a stretch. Inhale, lift up through your ribs. Exhale, find a neutral position for your head. Sometimes we want to push the back of the head into the arms or reach the chin forward or drop the chin down. Just find something that feels neutral and comfortable on your neck. And if you did it on the other side and you'd like to add on here, take it into Gomukhasana arms. Internally rotate your right shoulder, right thumb down, palm back, and reach fingertips towards each other, maybe grabbing onto pieces of your clothing or a strap. Inhale, lift up through your front ribs and back ribs equally. Exhale, hug your belly in, maybe deepen the bend in your left knee. Feel for creating space through your spine while also staying out of struggle. Release your arms, set your hands down on the inside of your left foot, lizard with protraction and retraction. Inch your right foot back until it feels like you're in a plank. Inhale, protract, push the spine up between the shoulder blades. Exhale, retract, squeeze your shoulder blades together, heart sinks. Inhale, protract, push the earth away. Exhale, retract, squeeze. One more round, protract. And retract. Come back into a neutral spine, engage through your back leg, and scissor hug your legs towards each other so you feel the inner leg lines turn on. And release your right knee down, queen pigeon stage 1, left side. Inch your left foot across. Lower your left shin onto the ground and support your left sit bone with something, either blanket, block, bolster, whatever you have handy. Set your right hand forward of your shoulder and begin to arc your ribs down towards the right arm. Wrap your left arm behind your back. Grab onto a piece of your clothing. And let your ear rest on your shoulder or chin to chest. Inhale into your right side body. Exhale, allow your rib cage to sink. Inhale into your shoulders and upper back. Exhale, relax your jaw. Feel for letting go of any tension that's not serving you here. Release your left arm from behind your back. Place both hands under your shoulders. Tuck the right toes under, slide your knee forward, And then scoot your left leg back to meet right. Move your blanket out of your way and lie all the way down onto your belly, locust. Internally rotate each of your legs individually to create more space in your sacrum. Then extend your arms along by your sides, palms face up. Inhale, lift up your chest and your legs. Exhale, relax your neck so you're not looking up, but you're keeping a neutral back of the neck. Inhale, lift your chest a little higher, maybe the legs lift a little higher. Exhale, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Inhale, lower all the way down, hands under shoulders, push back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands and rise up into warrior two legs. Deeply bend your right knee, open your arms out with palms facing down to begin. Kite hawk. Inhale, externally rotate your shoulders by lifting your palms towards the ceiling, chin lifts slightly. Exhale, internally rotate from the shoulder, palms face back, chin falls. 2 more like that. Inhale, externally rotate, lift your chest and chin. Exhale, internally rotate. 1 more round. Allow the rotation to come from your shoulder rather than just from the hands rotating. Inhale, come back to neutral. Relax your arms down and straighten out your front leg, triangle pose. Heel toe your back foot in a step or 2. Shift your hips towards the back. Reach your right arm forward and then extend as far forward as you can. Set your right hand down either on a block, your shin, or wherever feels comfortable. Left arm can extend up towards the ceiling unless it bothers your shoulder, in which case keep your left hand on your hip. And then eye gaze can go wherever feels comfortable. You could look forward, keeping your neck neutral, look down if that's most comfortable, or even up if that feels okay for your neck today. Inhale into your belly. Exhale, lift up your kneecaps to activate your quad muscles. Inhale into your chest. Exhale, kiss your shoulder blades towards each other to open up your heart space. Feel for staying strong and open in this version of triangle. Set your left hand back onto your hip. Look down, lower your hands to the mat, and set up for pigeon back bend. Heel toe your right foot across and lower your right shin down. Then find something to support your right sit bone, maybe a block, maybe a blanket. And for this version of pigeon back bend, you'll be staying on top of fingertips with the option to bend your left knee if you'd like. All right, inhale, lift up through your chest. Exhale, begin to push down through your right shin bone, almost so much that you could even float your hands free and lift your sit bone off of the block. That's not the goal, but imagine. Inhale now, relax down, allowing your hips to get a little bit lower. Exhale, press down through the right shin, maybe lifting your chest another centimeter. And inhale, soften. 1 more time. Exhale, press down through your shin, lift your chest, maybe even lift your gaze. Inhale, soften. Now stay with your chest lifted on top of fingertips or even blocks. If it would feel good to walk your hands back, you can play with walking your hands back. And now if you'd like to bend your knee by squeezing your hamstrings and your glutes to pull your heel towards your glute. Good, release. Lower your foot down. Set your hands down on the mat and step back into plank. Back toes tuck, step to plank, lower your knees, then lower chest and belly all the way down to the mat at the same time. Bound locust. Reach your arms behind your back and clasp them together, keeping the heels of your hands together, even if that means your elbows will stay bent the whole time. If you're able to lift your fists away from your glutes, you can add that here. Otherwise, allow yourself to rest. Inhale into your chest. And as you exhale, lift your shoulders away from the ground, lift up your feet, lift up your chest. Inhale, press your belly into the mat to get a little taller. Exhale, squeeze the heels of the hands together, maybe even hug the ankles towards each other. Inhale, relax, lower all the way down, down dog, hands under shoulders, and press yourself up and back. Step your left foot between your hands and rise up into warrior two legs for warrior two with kite hawk. Open your arms out to the sides. Inhale, externally rotate, lift your chin and chest. Exhale, internally rotate, palms face back, chin falls. Inhale, rotate open, chest rises, palms up. Exhale, internally rotate. And do that one more time on your own. Inhale, lift to a neutral spine. Relax your arms down. Straighten your left leg and heel toe your back foot in a step or two. Shift your hips towards the back of the mat. Extend your left arm forward and reach as far as you can. Then set your left hand down and option to reach your right arm up unless it bothers your shoulder. Inhale into your low belly. Exhale, activate your quads by lifting your kneecaps. Inhale into pelvic floor. Exhale, hug your ankles towards each other, turning on the inner leg lines. Feel for staying rooted through your foundation so that your heart has more space to open. When we're grounded and stable, it's easier to see the beauty instead of getting caught up in struggle. Release your right hand down, look down, and lower your hands to frame your left foot. Then walk your foot across and set your shin down on the ground. Pigeon back bend. Grab onto your blanket and place it underneath your sit bone. Stay high on your fingertips. Inhale, lift up through your chest. Exhale, push down through the left shin bone again, almost so much that you could get free with your fingertips. Inhale, relax down into your support. Exhale, activate your outer glute, or your outer hip rather, by pushing down. Inhale, relax, last time. Exhale, big push down through the shin, lift your chin, lift your chest. Inhale, relax your hips down. If it feels good, you can walk your fingertips even further back and then option to bend your right knee and squeeze your heel towards your glute, feeling for the back of your leg turning on. Release your right leg down, walk your hands under your shoulders, and step back onto the right knee. Left knee comes back to meet right. Move your blanket out of your way. Or if you'd like to pad your knees with your blanket, place it underneath your knees for camel pose. Place your hands on either side of your sacrum. If your wrists are sensitive, make 2 fists instead. Elongate your tailbone to a neutral position and lift up through your belly. Inhale, lift your ribs up away from your hips. Exhale, press your hip points forward and squeeze your shoulder blades together behind your back. Inhale into your heart space. Exhale, lift up through your front and back ribs. Maybe hips come forward 1 more centimeter. Feel for maintaining a long spine rather than crunching back into your low back. To come out, keep supporting your low back, rise up, then walk your hands onto the ground and step back into down dog. Right foot forward, warrior 1 with lance dodger. Step your right foot down on the ground and lower your back heel down, then rise up into warrior 1 legs. Reach your right arm up and grab onto the base of your skull. Then internally rotate your left shoulder, reach your left arm behind your back, and grab onto a piece of your clothing, maybe a piece of your pants. Use your left forearm to send the tailbone down. Inhale, lift up your ribs. Exhale, ease your head back into your right hand. Inhale, lift up front ribs and back ribs equally. Exhale, use your left forearm to encourage the tailbone down so that you feel spacious in your low back. Feel for completely letting your head drop into your hands. Feel the weight of your head. Use your right hand to support your head as you come back up. Then lower your hands down on the mat. Option to place a blanket underneath your knee, then set your left knee onto the ground. Lunge with brain cradling. Walk your right toes forward just a bit. Send the belly upward so that you feel your hip points lift. Then send your hips forward into a lunge. Once you feel a pretty minor stretch in your left hip flexors, then you're in a good spot. Reach your arms up, clasp your hands together behind your head, wrap them around the base of your skull, and lift your elbows up. If this is too intense, elbows can widen out to the sides. Inhale, lift up your rib cage. Exhale, draw your belly in, send the hips forward. Inhale, telescope your ribs up 1 more inch. Exhale, drop the hips forward. Now inhale, use your hands to pick up your head. Lower your hands down onto the ground and walk your right foot across for King Pigeon. Grab your blanket or a block this time and place it underneath your sit bone. Make sure that you have extra support, more than you typically use, because we will be going into a deeper back bend. Now, you have 2 options for this next, well, you have endless options, but I'm gonna give you 2 options for your next variation of pigeon. You have the option to use the strap and go into pigeon back bend with the strap. For that, you'll loop the strap around your back ankle and then reach your arms overhead, walking them down so that your elbows align with your wrists. Then you'll kick your foot into the strap and reach your heart forward. So that's option 1. If that sounds like too much, next option would be to bend the knee, reach your left arm back, and begin to hook your toes into your elbow. Then reach your right arm up if that's enough, stay there, or clasp fingertips. So another option here is to hold on to the strap with both hands. This is your mermaid variation. So find whichever variation you'd like to take, and then begin to, if you're in the strap, kick your foot back, reach your heart forward, and lift up through your ribs no matter what variation you're in. Inhale into your lower back. Exhale, pull your belly in. Inhale, lift up through your heart space. Exhale, kick your foot back into the strap. Feel for finding the beauty rather than the struggle. So maybe for you that means backing out of the pose just a little bit so you can find more ease. And gently release. Lower your foot down, sit onto the blanket so you can remove the strap if you had the strap, and place it over to the side. Walk your hands under your shoulders and come back onto your knees. Now, this is where you'll need your blanket roll. So roll up your blanket if it's not already rolled up, and place that underneath your belly. We'll be moving into half bow. So lie down with your belly on the roll. Then inhale, pull your ribs forward and up. Set your left hand to the center of the mat. Bend your right knee and grab onto the outside of your ankle. Then kick your right foot into your right hand to lift your chest up. Inhale into your belly. Exhale, kick the right foot back. Feel for using the rolled up blanket to keep the space in your lower back and create a little bit more ease. Release your right foot down. Place both hands out in front of you. Pull your ribs forward and down. Inhale, drag your ribs forward and up. Set your right hand to the center, bend your left knee, and with your left hand, grab onto the outside of your ankle. Kick your foot back into your hand and lift through your chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, kick back. Feel for opening up your left shoulder without too much tension. Release your foot down, set both hands down, pull your ribs forward and come down. And walk your hands under your shoulders and press yourself up onto your knees. Move the roll out of your way and come back into down dog. From down dog, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, elongate your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. And find dancer's pose. Root down through your right foot and open your left arm out to the left. So your palm is facing out to the side. Root down through your right foot and open your left arm out to the left. So your palm is facing out to the side. Then bend your right knee. Then bend your left knee and catch onto the inside arch of your left foot. Reach your right arm up. Option to stay right here, or begin to kick your left foot into your hand until eventually maybe your chest starts to sink forward. The kick is what's actually doing the act of sinking. You just kick so much until your chest has to come forward. There's nowhere else to go. If that doesn't happen, no worries. Stay at whatever point you're at without dropping your chest. Find one spot to stare at. This is your drishti or your focus point. And take just one more deep breath. Then rise all the way back up and release your left foot down to meet right. Other side. Root down through your left foot. Open your right arm out to the right. Bend your right knee. Catch onto the inside arch of your foot. Reach left arm up. Inhale, lift up through your chest. And exhale, begin to kick right foot into right hand. Eventually, you may kick so much that your chest sinks down, but don't worry about that happening unless it naturally does. Lock your eyes on that one spot, your drishti, your focus point. And one more breath. Begin to make your way out of the pose and release your foot down. Place your hands together at your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out your spine. Exhale, step straight back, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one, lance dodger. Step your left foot between your hands, ground your right heel down, rise up into warrior one, legs. Reach your left arm up and grab onto the base of your skull. Internally rotate your right shoulder, reach your right arm behind your back, and grab onto a piece of your clothing. Use the right forearm to send your tailbone down and draw your belly in. Inhale, lift your ribs up. Exhale, drop your head back into your hand. Inhale into low belly. Exhale, pull your belly in and lift your ribs up 1 more inch. Soften your head. Feel for the weight of your head softening into your hand. Now use your hand to help your head up and lower your right knee either down onto a blanket or the mat. Lunge with brain cradling. Walk your left toes forward just to a point that feels manageable. Draw your belly up and send your hip points forward until you feel a minor stretch. Reach your arms up, clasp your hands together. This time use your non-dominant grip, opposite pinky on top, and catch onto the base of your skull. Lift your elbows up. Inhale, telescope your ribs up. Exhale, ease your head back into your hands. Inhale into low belly. Exhale, push down through both feet, top of the right foot, bottom of the left. Feel for connecting to your strong foundation in order to create more ease in your neck. Use your hands to help your head back up. Lower your hands to the mat and walk your left foot across for pigeon with the strap or mermaid pigeon. So some type of prop underneath your left sit bone, probably higher than what you've done before. And then you choose whether you'd like to go into mermaid variation. In that case, you'll bend the knee and then kind of slink your toes into the crease of the elbow, then reach left arm overhead. You do not have to grab, but if you're able to, go for it. Otherwise, loop your strap around your right ankle, reach your arms overhead, and with both hands on the strap, kick your right foot back into the strap. Inhale into your core. Exhale, press down through the left shin. Engage your outer hip. Inhale into your chest. Exhale, kick your right foot back, opening your heart a little more. Feel for staying active and engaged so that there's no dumping in any of your joints. And at your own pace, release. Lower the strap to the side, hands under shoulders, and walk back into plank. Set your knees down and take your rolled up blanket and place it back underneath your belly. This time option for full bow, or you can repeat half bow. Inhale, pull your ribs forward and up. Then place your left hand to the center, bend your right knee, grab the outer edge of your right foot. Either stay here for a breath and then switch, Or kick your right foot back into your hand so much that you feel like you can lift up your left hand. Once that happens, bend your left knee, catch onto the outer edge of the left ankle, and kick both ankles back. Inhale into the roll. Exhale, kick your feet back to open your heart. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, relax your jaw. And begin to release. Lower your hands down. Pull your ribs forward. Come down and pancake your hands on top of each other, allowing your forehead to rest on the backs of your hands. Let your hips soften. And feel your heartbeat in the roll. To come out, walk your hands under your shoulders, press up onto knees, move your blanket out of your way, then lift your hips up into down dog. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, elongate your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands down to your heart. All right, we're ready for our peak pose, dancer with the strap. You will also have the option to take dancer with mermaid arms instead, which is basically the same thing as we did in pigeon, except for with standing instead. So for dancer with the strap, you're welcome to do this at the wall. In that case, your standing leg will be the one closer to the wall, and you can use that same elbow and that same hip against the wall for a little bit of support with balance. So for that pose, you'll use your strap around your ankle and then walk your hands onto the strap. Rather than dipping your chest down, stay lifted and walk your hands just as far down the strap as feels manageable, then kick your foot into the strap. That's one option. The other option will be, you can do the same thing against the wall if you'd like, but dancer with mermaid arms. So in that case, you'll bend your knee, slide your foot into the elbow crease, and reach your opposite arm overhead, finding a grip. You can also use a strap here. All right, so whichever variation you'd like to take, go ahead and take that now. I will talk you into dancer with the strap in case you'd like to do that version. So root down through whichever leg is closer to the wall. If you'd like to start with your left leg, I'll be cueing for the left leg. Loop the strap around your right ankle and reach your arms overhead. Grab onto the strap and walk down just as far as feels manageable and not crunchy in your lower back. Then start to kick your foot into the strap to open your chest and shoulders. Take deep breaths. And lock your eyes on one spot, somewhere right out in front of you. When you're ready to release, slide your hands through the strap, set your right foot down, and if you were using the wall, just turn to face the other way so that your opposite hip is closer to the wall. Loop your left ankle, or whichever ankle you haven't done yet, into the strap. Reach arms overhead and walk your hands down the strap. Then begin to kick your foot into the strap, letting your heart come forward. If you fall out, no worries, just come right back into it. And find that one spot to stare at, your drishti, your focus point. One last breath. And begin to release. Let the strap slide through your hands as you lower your left foot down, and then remove the strap, place it to the side. Transition to lying down on your back, and we'll set up for some abdominals. Begin with your knees bent, feet flat on the mat, and clasp your hands together behind your head. Inhale into your lower back. Pause your breath, press your low back down into the mat, and pick up your left leg. Exhale, lift your elbows up towards your left knee, pull low belly down, soften your head into your hands. Inhale, lower your head down, lower your foot down. Pause breath, press top rim of the sacrum down into the ground, pick up right knee right over your hip. Exhale, lift elbows up towards the right knee, pull low belly down, soften head into hands. Inhale, head down, foot down. Pause breath, press your low back down, pick up the left leg. Exhale, lift up your shoulders towards the left leg. Both shoulder blades up off the mat, pull low belly down. Inhale, head down, foot down. Pause your breath. Press low back down, pick up right leg. Exhale, lift chest and shoulders towards the right knee, pull low belly down. Inhale, lower your head down, lower your foot down. Supine twist. Pick up your knees and release both knees all the way over to the right, almost rolling into a fetal position to begin. Stack your ankles, knees, and hips, and reach your left arm over your head. Allow your chest to start to open up towards the ceiling. And if you're able to twist so much that your shoulder blade touches the mat while maintaining hips stacked, then go ahead and take that variation. Otherwise, keep your shoulder wrapped with the arm overhead. Inhale into your side body. Exhale, let go of any tension that's not serving you here. Release and unwind, then roll all the way over onto your other side, fetal position. Stack knees, ankles, and hips. Reach right arm overhead and begin to twist your chest open. Inhale into your right ribs. Exhale, let the right side of your chest get heavy towards the ground, maybe so much that your shoulder blade touches. If that happens, you can open your arm out to the side. Otherwise, keep your shoulder supported with your arm over your head. Feel for allowing gravity to do the work of twisting you here, rather than forcing yourself into a deeper twist than is necessary. Release, roll back onto your back. Draw your knees in towards your chest, and we'll take happy baby. So widen your knees out to the sides. Flex your feet up towards the ceiling, stacking your ankles over your knees. Grab on either to the backs of your thighs, maybe somewhere along your calves, or all the way up to the outer edges of your feet. Ensure that your low back stays pressing down. So if your hips have lifted, just lower them back down and grab lower on your legs. Inhale into your low back. Exhale, pull your knees down closer to the earth. Inhale into your heart space. Exhale, let go of any tension from your jaw. Soften your shoulders. Insist on creating ease. Final Shavasana. Draw your knees into your chest for a moment, maybe rock side to side or make circles with your knees. Whatever would feel good and would prepare you for Shavasana. And then when you're ready, extend your legs all the way out. Let them go wide and open your arms out to the sides. If this is not comfortable on your lower back right now, bend your knees instead and let your knees fall in towards each other so that your sacrum starts to root down into the ground. And take a moment to get comfortable. Maybe you tuck one shoulder blade under than the other. Maybe you tuck your tailbone under to create a little more space in the lower back. Once you've adjusted all you need and you find comfort, rest in stillness. Choose to see the beauty rather than the struggle. And know that it is an active choice. It's not your default. And so if it isn't your default, it means that you may have to work to find the beauty. You may have to work to find gratitude. But it is worth it. Because as you begin to see more beauty, more things to be grateful for, you strengthen those neural pathways in your brain that show you those things. So that eventually you start to see those things spontaneously. You become attuned to the beauty, to the joy. It'll almost feel like you've become a magnet for those things, but in reality, it's just what you're seeing. Nothing in life has changed but your perspective, your vision has. how can you begin to see the beauty? Maybe you set alarms for yourself so that every hour you find one thing to be grateful for, one thing beautiful around you. Maybe you keep a journal of all of the things that bring you happiness each day. Whatever resonates with you, commit right now to seeing the beauty. If you'd like to stay longer in your Shavasana, pause the video. Begin to deepen your breath. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. And softly turn your head to the left and to the right, reawakening your spine. Inhale and reach your arms over your head like you just woke up from a nap. Point your toes. Exhale, roll onto your side in a fetal position. And then gently press yourself all the way back up to a comfortable seat. And place your hands together at your heart once you arrive. Take a moment now to choose one thing that you're grateful for and hold that in your heart just for a moment. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. The light within me honors, respects, and loves the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. My name is Adriana Lee, again with Solstice Yoga. I hope that you have a wonderful day.